get into the game, it's going to be on Mirage. Remember, the winner goes to the qualifier, the first team, and it's going to be Sadakist and Moses to talk us through this one.
And I'd love your thoughts, Moses, but we're into the pistol round, so let's wait for the first boring, viable gun round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perhaps.
Well, look at Angel. He's got himself stuck here. This is a really tough spot. Can't win that battle. Chris is going to win it. There was no one even there that was really in any situation to help get him out of that kind of an angle, that kind of a position. So early on in the pistol round, mousesports up 5-on-4 with 1 minute and 20 seconds as well. I mean, they can just wait this out. But look at the read HellRaisers has. 3 members are going to be in this B bomb site when the execution comes in.
Yeah, it's a good rotation early on from HellRaisers for sure. Now the question is, does that execution come in? They still seem committed. They seem poised to get a flash out. Nico and Chris J will lead this. Oscar's getting a bit curious, starting to consider the fact that underpass to connector is an option, but now it will go into the site. It's a 3-prong crossfire because they've got Cat, they've got Checkers. Smoke in the middle does limit the retake from HellRaisers, but they're still getting favorable trades until Dennis gets in behind the bench. He hides himself. Speedy, he's got to protect Dennis because Dennis has committed into the bomb site with the bomb on his back, so it's extremely hard and awkward for him to try and get away from this. Needs to be careful that he doesn't shuffle over too far to his left and get caught out from the player on Catwalk. Sticko already inside of the site. Dennis is going to get pinched, but it's Speedy again that gets the kill. Now they can try and get this bomb down. Oscar's going to push onto this though, and thankfully Dennis gets the call from his teammate. Speedy gets the kill.
What a sick round from Speedy. The way he just played support basically that whole time from up top on the balcony, just reading the movements of Dennis inside the bomb site and just making sure he had the opposite angle covered, just back and forth, bailing him out of some tough spots, making sure he can't get flanked. So that's a sick round from him just to cover his teammate for so well for so long. And that's stacked by HellRaisers. Good read, but it gets busted. And now into this next round, there is a little bit of an investment. It's not, there's some couple deagles bought up. 2 scouts on Kucher and Styko. And now mousesports with just 1 SMG. So they're going to play this very passively again, but another big lean towards this B bomb site. Only Nico is over towards A in the Palace. The other 4 are watching for a mid push and the B halls push.
And unsurprising that Nico's gone for the UMP. He is one of the biggest advocates for that gun in the game at the current moment. And we do have a bit now as it has slowed down, Moses, so obviously you and I are going to be bringing this game, but what are your thoughts initially? I'm kind of leaning toward the mousesports in this one as well. I'm not convinced yet by this HellRaisers roster, but where do you see this kind of unfolding?
Yeah, barring some kind of a crazy individual performance, I think mousesports should have a pretty solid win here, and that's a nice find from Nico, making sure he clears all of his corners, not going to get caught off guard. So yeah, I definitely agree with the desk that mousesports has a big advantage in this matchup, and they should win it. And right now into this round, they've got the pistol round win. They still have the 2 scouts to deal with in this second round. Those are going to be spread out. One's over towards the A bomb site. One's at the B bomb site. Obviously, the popular jumping scout positions. And then the two deagles are in middle, just kind of holding mid control, spotting for information.
Chris flashes himself around though to try and counter that to see if anyone is waiting toward window. Spots up 0. Minor damage done onto him, and the approach now will go on to the A side. Chris isn't even going to go down mid. He's going to rotate around, take the safe approach because he doesn't need giving away any guns in this situation. So on the A, Angel, gap. Shouldn't even say gap in the smoke. No smoke in front of him at the top of connector. Dennis will get the shot on Angel nonetheless, but Sticko 4 HP. Butcher does get 1 with the scout, so they're starting to chisel into mousesports, but the chances of picking up the round with no kits, no armor, not great. So the scout's likely to be held into round number 3.
Yeah, hopefully. Kucher's got to be a little bit careful going for like 1 more kill here at the end, but Styko with only 4 HP is already bailed out. You can see he's in the B halls, and now there's Kucher just running away, running off. So they're going to be able to keep those into the second eco round for HellRaisers. See if they can get anything more. And the big problem there, I mean, that round, they're spread out across the map, right? But it's the pistols for HellRaisers that were taking first contact. You know, especially with 2 deagles, you can kind of, with the damage they deal, you can almost use them as scouts. So if the actual scout's able to get 1 tag, the deagles are there to clean them up. But the scouts could just never get into any of the action early on, or at least didn't land damage early on.
But they do hold them into round number 3. Oscar with 3750, having gotten early kills in that pistol round, has a chance to level his money. So they could force up 1 pistol with it. I doubt they will. And there's no change, obviously, for that of the mousesports side. The one from Os, or rather Galil onto next, but Nico's going to keep this UMP further.
Yeah, the big thing is Oscar not buying anything in these first 2 rounds, saving his money. He's going to want that AWP, and very fast towards connector. mousesports is heading right up the stairs. 0 is going to be immediately to their left, and he's holding this angle, and actually there's a blind kill. There's a second one, nicely done. A third from 0 as well. He's been the hero so far.
And he's going to look for more as well. Quick peek gets information, lets them know the other 2 are there as Speedy gets the trade. They still got a hole to dig themselves from now. And Chris J taking a little bit of damage on the approach as well as the player gets At CT up on top of this ticket booth. Good shot from Sticko as well with that scout. So now it's really doable as Speedy finds himself in a 1-on-4. Smoke off toward that jungle position. They know he's passed through it. They're already tapping away. We can see the bullets hitting the wall. And he in turn knows that means Oscar's out towards Shadow, so he takes advantage of that situation. One of the three gone, but Sticko's moved himself. He's inside of the bomb site, and he's got the scout in a great position. And HellRaisers respond early.
Yeah, just cleaned out. What a performance from Zero. Holds strong with just the pistol. First kill's free, but the other two were just ridiculous shots from him. So he holds that fast, aggressive play. And mousesports gets punished for it. That fast call up towards connector, they didn't utilize any of their utility. I mean, they had smokes, they had Molotovs, flashbangs, and Zero's able to shut them all out. He wasn't flushed out of his position, wasn't blind whatsoever. Comes up with a huge play. Still, it's going to be a buy into this round for mousesports. They had plenty of money, so 4 AK-47s, a deagle on Nico, and I mean, probably one of the better deagle players we know of.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. But you've said it, Moses, just to make sure everyone knows. As Kutcher gets flashed, the M4 in position, but overwhelmed. Angel gets at least one kill. That's from Catwalk, but he's got to turn back and do more damage. He's got to shut everyone down, and he was still considering the approach from middle as Nico was coming that direction. So suddenly everything favors mousesports once more.
Yeah, and the AWP going to have to try and retake, so it's going to be up to these M4s to at least find a couple kills to clear the path for that AWP to be effective. Zero, he's going to try and come out. And Sticko is still stuck behind this smoke. He's going to be moving his way up Catwalk. Pop Flash comes out, turns around for it, pushes right through. He's got Nico blind. He gets that first kill. Now they've got a new avenue of retake.
Jay sitting in the corner trying to catch Sticko off on a wide peek, but he knew he was there, no cover. And they're going to force Dennis out. The Molotov pushes him, but the flash is missed time. It actually blinds Sticko, so fortunately Oscar gets in a position. No kit doesn't have this. That's a full 10-second defuse.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. That one flashbang ruined everything. Just, you're exactly right, mistimed. That looked so good for HellRaisers. That first kill from Nico comes out. You could see all the mousesports players trying to readjust their positioning inside the site. Couldn't do it quick enough. Either way, there's going to be a buy here out of HellRaisers. They don't want to give this back up. All 5 members of mousesports fall, so their economy and their buy is not going to be strong. So this round can really dictate which one of these teams grabs economic advantage early on.
So back and forth as ever. HellRaisers, you would think, on that third round would have a massive advantage into this, but it's still so tight. Oscar going to try and get an aggressive peek toward connector, catch an off angle. And hope mousesports are sitting at the top of mid, unaware, unprotected, and unready. But more importantly than that, Angel, keep in mind he has the silenced M4, goes in toward apartments and sprays through. That does massive damage on Chris J. He gets a little bit of bullets fired in return because it is a narrow angle, so it's easy to figure out exactly where it's coming from. But Chris hasn't exactly telegraphed that position, so he comes out worse for wear. Angel's now primed as well for that quick little pop flash. This gives Kutcher a decent spot with the 5-7 if they can blind them up. But right now, so far, there's no commitment. mousesports back toward the top of mid.
Yeah, it's only really Nico doing any kind of challenging over towards A Palace. I don't know if mousesports might have misread this, but this is the same setup they ran on their anti-ecos. So they might have thought that this was going to be a save round for HellRaisers, where they just had some pistols. But going up against the AWP of Oscar, he's right above connector, and all of mousesports now wheeling their way over towards the B halls. They do throw a mid-smoke to simulate mid-control from the terrorist side, but all the pressure is going to be towards Angel.
And they know Angel does have that M4. They've already encountered it. What they don't know is where Oscar's kept that AWP. And he's actually over toward A. The hit's going to come on B, so it won't come into the fold just yet, per se. But if Kutcher can slow them down, if he can buy some time, the rotation would be fast enough. He's got the first kill. He's looking for the second, but Dennis will come out on top of it. And now Oscar gets in position, not able to land the first shot. That gives him a chance to relocate, but more importantly gives mousesports the chance to get the bomb down as it stays 3 versus 4, only just as Chris still sits on that 6 HP. And that's going to be the key for HellRaisers to save the AWP.
Yeah, no success defending that B bomb site, so mousesports overruns it very, very nicely. And yeah, this is the only option that's left to him. Save that op into the next round. See if it can come up with some kind of crazy play for you that'll give the pistols a chance to add on to it. Maybe Zero's going to go nuts again, but either way, mousesports now, you can see Nico is on the hunt. He's only got the UMP, and he's done good damage. There's someone on catwalk behind him, but he's just going for the op. Zero's going to clean him out. That could be a UMP they salvage into the next round. Pass the P250 or the SMG over to someone without armor. So just another tool in the arsenal to see if they want to make a little bit more of an investment to give themselves a better chance into this round. But either way, mousesports is going to start this off strong, up to a 4-1 lead as terrorists.
And now the situation arises where, yes, okay, they've saved the AWP once more. But HellRaisers effectively have 2 rounds in a row without a decent buy. And mousesports, we talked about the sort of 4-1 start. It's not quite the same orthodox we talk about it where it's 1-round reset on the first gun, but they still have a chance to really kick this economy.
Yeah,
on the T side's awesome.
Yeah, they have a huge advantage here. The big thing is now they have to find this AWP because since they didn't clear it out last round, there still is a pretty decent danger that they're going to be going against. But look at mousesports is leaning so heavily on these B tunnels. You know, pistol round, some of the last gun round, this time again. So they're really going to try and abuse this B bomb site.
The weird thing is Oscar went straight toward mid-window, which is like the most common spot you'd find the AWP, so they haven't been putting pressure there. And again, he's going to have to rotate quickly if he wants to make it applicable. Angel already smoked off, leaning to the arches at Catwalk. When he comes through, they look away from it. They think that smoke's going to discourage him enough, and he manages to get 2 kills for his efforts. Next, though, does hold true. Another solid performance so far early on in this, but Speedy gets caught planting. It's low HP on Next, and AK picked up from Zero. Once more, as you dubbed him, he could be the hero as Chris J walks out on top of the platform, and Zero's going to do exactly that. The 2 rounds they won, it's all been Zero. Yeah, triple kills in each of those from Zero, and mostly with the P250, the damage is done there. Sick crossfire set up in this B bomb site. 1 player behind the bench, 1 player right underneath the barred off window. And they're able to mow down a couple. Was that the James Bardoff window?
Yeah, I noticed. Yep, I ran right into that one.
You did.
I noticed it as soon as I said it. Oh, well, it happens.
Why would you assume that a black man's behind bars, Moses?
We miss you, James.
We do. So Zero going to throw the Molotov out toward Palace right now. That'll limit their movement. Sticko's going to get up on ticket booth, so they've got a basic anchor play, and Smokes to follow that up. Speedy tries to get in a better position, but Sticko's actually going to get Dennis quite clearly as well. So this starts off well for HellRaisers, and now the economy can actually go in their favor after this round if they can't find answers right now. Next goes low on HP, but he'll get Sticko instead. It's going to be Zero once more holding from the top of connector, but it's Oscar with the AWP that gets 2 quick kills. Yeah, there's the op coming into play. Finally finds a huge impact for HellRaisers, and they have a massive lead in this round. So it's just Speedy and Nico trying to find some way. Stuck behind a couple smokes. There's Nico finding one towards CT spawn. Zero and Oscar, though, they haven't pinned in. There's nowhere he can go. 1 CT spawn, 2 players towards connector. He cannot move, so it's going to be all on Speedy to make some kind of a play here to alleviate the pressure on Nico. And they have no nades to utilize either, so Speedy taking his time. 40 seconds left on the clock, so they have some things to play with. Speedy gets the bomb thrown to him because Nico can't afford to peek out because he's got low HP, but they end up lining up instead. It's Angel, not Zero with both kills that time, that will conclude the round. And this puts the economy in a bit of a tatters right now for mousesports. It's 2 rounds against them in succession, so if they stay at about 2,000 HP, if they don't invest into this at all, or sorry, $2,000, they should be able to force into the next. Bomb plant as well would pull out maximum utility. If they'd gotten a bomb plant in the last round, they might have been able to buy some light armor, some upgraded pistols, try and keep the money low on the CT side, but no such luck. And Oscar, what a nice flick. He's going to go for the repeak as well. Does deal damage through the wall. Dennis down to 16, continuing to peek, but there's Angel for the support. Grabs one at the top of mid, and Zero as well chimes in downstairs, and actually these AKs go into work long range. Oscar with the op is forced passive, with only 19 HP. He got dinked, but doesn't really matter so much because HellRaisers is in a 5-on-1, and through the boxes, Angel's going to clean things out. And that's an absolutely flawless round as well. So now the CTs can start to build up that economy. Nico immediately committing to the buy. They won't have an AWP on the T side, and they're going to be limited on economy as well. Dennis, they've got single smokes on both he and Chris J, and that's all they can afford. And it's not like the others are much better. All they've afforded more is just a single flash on the other 3. So it's limited, but we'll see if it's quick, concise, and effective. They're already setting up for these B smokes, but look at Angel's position, using the smoke on the ramp to get in a better position. Not only that, Sticko's there for the quick trade. Yeah, and they're so incredibly close up. Angel's blind, drops the Molotov into the smoke, though. It gets extinguished, so Dennis gets a free kill. Now they've got to find Kucher, and there's no smokes covering. He's still one, needs to get cleared out from dark, and he hasn't been found. He hasn't had a presence whatsoever. This is beautifully patient play, and he's going to get a free kill for it. Now it's just down to Nico, 1-on-2. Knows where the 2 remaining members are, roughly. Here's Oscar, but the op is going to find him out first. Can't quite see through the smoke as he's elevated slightly on the stairwell. He's at the center of where essentially the smoke's come out. That's one of the interesting things to see. Yes, it comes from the middle of the smoke, not at the ground where the actual grenade canister is deployed. So you see under it sooner than you see through it. Now you know. Now you know. The more you know. Fun facts with Sadicus. Fun facts with Sadicus. Here at the MLG Counter-Strike Global Offensive Major Qualifier. That is where we are. That is a mouthful. But now HellRaisers in full control of the economy on this CT side have only limited so far mousesports to 4 rounds. It could have been so much more catastrophic than that. If they can conclude the half in a similar fashion, if they can limit them to maybe just 5 or 6, they'll give themselves a great chance because we know mousesports are quite T-sided on this particular matchup.
mousesports really, I mean, they only have pistols in this round, but once again, I've mentioned it, this emphasis on the B bomb site for mousesports, they've really only gone for that mid control like 1 round where they also had pistols going out to AWP and a bunch of AKs. Other than that, it was just a very fast mid play on that anti-eco that they got punished. So this mid has not been kind to mousesports, and you can see they apparently want to go away from it. So that's giving this this defense for HellRaisers, alleviating a lot of the pressure the defense normally has on it. And this time coming from underpass with these pistols, Kucher is going to be in a great vantage point.
Perfect position for him to be an Angel. He's going to hear that vent get blown out. Zero as well waiting in the window. He turns back and actually finds Nico in apartments. That gives Nex a bit of a chance to find Kucher because there's no one else watching the jump spot, but they've still got all the positions in their favor, HellRaisers, with these rifles. And as they push toward that catwalk position, Angel gets aggressive, finds Speedy, and mousesports quickly turn around and go back to the B apartments.
Yeah, but the timing of this, now that HellRaisers doesn't feel any pressure, sees no presence whatsoever in mid, it's going to give an opportunity for Oscar with that AWP. He's going to get into position and market. He'll be able to watch in the B tunnels, and Angel as well on catwalk. But it actually, it almost seems like Oscar is unsure a little bit where he wants to look. But mousesports is going to come through these halls. And there he is, finally. He's settled in. He's got scoped in on the window. He's going to grab that first kill onto Dennis. He is trying to be held by Nex with that deagle. That's not going to do too much as Angel's here to bail him out. No real pressure put onto HellRaisers. They get their 6th.
12 kills now for Zero. Remember his impact. He had 6 over 2 rounds. That was the first 2 that they got. The second one is what sort of started this economic tumble. That's what I was looking for, toward the CTs. Because they've actually got 5 digits of money on both Sticko and Oscar at this point. And mousesports, they'll bring out the AWP on Chris J this time as the lost round bonus is starting to work in its effect. In fact, it's hit the 5th round. But having gone for the AWP, they need a bomb plant if they're going to buy the next. Obviously, the goal to win this goes without saying, but it still means they're quite limited. They're quite tight. Oscar's going to get aggressive coming out off catwalk right now, try and take the approach to top mid in a slightly different angle. And Chris wants the fight at B. And we know Kucher's been playing in that jump spot.
Yeah, and once again, there's no pressure on mousesports is applying to middle. Playing very passively. Once again, only Nico and Palace. This is a very, very default setup they've ran many times. And HellRaisers, I mean, since they feel no pressure from underpass, from middle whatsoever, I mean, they can get a really good read on this, especially now that Chris is spotted out. He has to push forward through this Molotov. He's just running up. He's going to take the scope over towards Oscar, but he's already there. All the indication was for Oscar to turn around, and he nails the shot onto Chris J. And with that kill, mousesports wants to fall away from this B bomb site in a man disadvantaged situation. HellRaisers has all the advantage with mid control as well.
And this is one of the things with Nico. In days gone by, he used to be able to open this map up himself. He used to be able to walk out with the AK and just take the fight. Now, he limited himself to the UMP as he has been doing in the early rounds, but he's sitting on 4 frags total this late into the game, and I do say that it is late because he's known for being a T-sided presence. Shots come through. Angel's figured out. Dennis knows he has to be on the box to the corner if he can hit him at that angle, so he fires into the corner, and that equals it back up on 4. Now they've got mid-presence, they've got control, and they can start to execute. A decent smoke at the top of connector, though, will slow Dennis as he tries to arrive. Zero's going to wait. They're going to let this happen. They're going to try and buy time, catch them in transition, catch them in the act. And they've gone for the second player back towards CT stairs. But Oscar's flashed off of this. As soon as he arrives, that puts the bomb down. It's in the open side. That means Zero gets Speedy before he can get to a post-plant position. Fortunately, Nex in a great position to go for the trade, but nice wallbang from Sticko. He knows where Dennis is playing. And now they've got the advantage again on this retake as Nex gets toward connector. Now, are they going to remember that he was over on that side, because now he's all that remains. Nico's down toward A main. Another shot from Oscar, and Kucher's going to close the round. It's another successive round for HellRaisers.
Yeah, sick retake from HellRaisers. Very patient, able to find some early kills before they have to retake, and that extra timer gives them so much of a luxury with that AWP to just patiently, watch these angles, move in slowly, get their kills, and they swarm into the bomb site. So mousesports, they get the plant at least, and now I believe, with a full losing bonus and that plant, they're going to have plenty of money to get whatever they want. 5 AK-47s, but this has been tough for mousesports. Now that they're not having success over towards the B bomb site, what else do they have?
I mean, this is becoming a crazy storyline. Mousesports, a week before the minor, elect to go with Zero in a 2-hour notice before they had to decide if they were playing in the CIS region or the European. They win the minor, they get here. We don't think they have much of a chance in this group. They beat Liquid. And remember, best of 1 to decide who moves through in this game. It could be mousesports versus Liquid, which is 2 teams we would have expected to be in the major. So already a bit of a story developing, and HellRaisers punching above their weight could potentially get a berth in the first $1 million major. Next Flashed around the corner. Angel was there. They're going to try and go for the bait and switch, but Angel comes out. No one's there for Nex. Where's the trade? Finally, Speedy does get it, and he had to. Without that kill, they were so far gone and removed from this round. They might as well have written it off. Zero, great opportunity to pick, though. And Sticko's going to find Dennis again. No trades. Nico now in a 1 versus 4.
Yeah, something's got to change here for mousesports because, like you mentioned, Nico only has 4 kills, and one of their best players, most firepower, is being confined mostly to A Palace in this entire half. Not having a chance to really blow up and go nuts the way we've seen him in the past. Oscar's got 16K. I mean, there's no lack of money on the CT side, and now with the double op setup as well, it's just been mousesports players getting picked off from range. So they're gonna have. They've bought some armor. This is a little bit of a half buy. They have Tech 9s, they have armor, they have utility. They're not fully bought out, but this is just to try and do some economic damage, all the while saving up some money so the next round, even if they don't win this, they're going to have plenty of money for anything they can need. Ops if they want it, AKs with full utility, and now they're resigned back to this B bomb site where Kucher is just going for a jump spot.
As he has been doing for most of the game, and that has been the weak spot for HellRaisers if you can sight one. Oscar's still checking out the top of mid. He's considering all options. Good flash in, though. Kucher distilled, he's moved, he's gone back toward the bench, but he's not been killed off just yet. And he still has the AK. Good pickup. And they got Angel toward the catwalk. That's both men on entry. They'll lose a lot of HP in doing it. In fact, a significant amount, so much so that that nade could have nearly cleared off too, but they crucially get a bomb down. And they've picked up a rifle to complement that of Nico's AK. There is kits because of the money. Obviously, it's swelled massively in favor of HellRaisers on all 3 players. Zero into the corner, though. It's going to be Oscar to find the first one. Double peek, though. Dennis and Chris J. They each get a kill in return, and it's on to Sticko with an AWP versus 3. And so far, there's no opportunity. Now, yes, they've got money, but why not? Why give it away? Why not play the long game? They can buy for the rest of the half. He could actually go for this and actually hurt the economy. I think he should in this case, try and damage the economy for mousesports.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it's just a bunch of free guns. They're going to have whatever they want no matter what because they didn't even fully invest into this. This is a round that mousesports won with just Tech 9, so huge economic boon to them. And of course, it's a little bit heartbreaking for HellRaisers to have such a strong defense for a good section of this match, and then all of a sudden these Tech 9s just kind of blow it up. They're able to swarm into the bomb site. The flashbang works perfectly. Defenders are isolated by smokes, they're blind, and 2 quick entries from mousesports. That pretty much spells the end, despite all the damage that's dealt. It's another one of these bomb sites so hard to retake with such a man disadvantage. Down 2 players and an AWP. Tough spot to be in if you're HellRaisers, and they couldn't make it work that time. But like we said, plenty of money on their side. They do rebuy up into this round. Oscar's back on the AWP. This time mousesports has changed things up. They're going to go towards the A bomb site right off the bat. All 5 members here lining up for an execution. So far, just waiting behind this smoke at A ramp. Oscar and Zero are going to be very quick to rotate and support, but they could get blocked off by smokes.
And they are already dropping off that ticket booth. He tried to preemptively fire into that flash, catch them off with timing, but it's on Zero again to do the damage. Sticko somehow finds the shot on Chris J. Look at the gap he had to work with, and he gets the kill. They're going to go for the outside bomb plant to keep him in safety, but he nearly gets it anyway. A nade, though, does put him down to 79, insignificant in the fact that he still has the AWP to play with. And they're going to try and retake from 3 approaches right now. If they go through that vent, it would be problematic because Nico is waiting, and Kucher's going to get here. Try and use this to his advantage. But it's going to be on Sticko and Oscar instead that have to try and get inside the site from the CT stairs. Already Molotov off at Tetris. Sticko's hoping someone will exit, try and run away from the flames, and he'll catch him in transition, but that's not going to happen. The patience from mousesports will give them one more round.
Yeah, all of a sudden this is turning a completely different half than what it was looking like it was going to be. mousesports has found a little bit of a formula to get into these sites, and now that the double op setup is in effect for HellRaisers, very difficult for them to retake, but those are a couple nice shots from Oscar just to keep that gun into the next round. Still plenty of money in his pocket. He's got over 10,000, so...
Yeah, it's not really a big deal. He could have bought it again.
And he'll be able to drop, is more what I'm saying to Angel. Kucher as well, they were both stuck around 3,000, so they'll be able to buy into this last round or have weapons into this last round as well as full utility as needed. So that's the one silver lining here as HellRaisers. They've already won the half, but trying to get up towards 9 rounds.
And they did go double op. That was the bigger part of it because they could have afforded full guns regardless. So it's Sticko that has the second one. Chris J. Try and wield it in turn against them. And Chris is going to go for that B shot once more. It's Kucher that's going to be playing the jump as always. Early smoke deployed. So I take that back. It's a nade instead. He still holds the smoke, so it's just buying time. Take away Chris's chances. Spots him jumping, but it's a bit late. The smoke goes out. Chris puts himself forward of that. Molotov's going to segregate the 2, and there won't be an approach just yet from mousesports. As Zero stuck inside the window as well. There was a smoke off in front of him, so they don't have information at what's going on in middle right now, despite that mousesports have once again committed 5 to these B apartments. Angel's getting a little cheeky. He wants that wall bang.
Yeah, a very similar strategy that mousesports ran earlier, where they apply pressure in the B halls. Don't commit to. It didn't look like they wanted to commit to execution and actually try and take over the site, but wanted to just apply pressure, see if they could find a pick, catch someone off guard. Now they've fallen back and slowed things around. Speedy's just running back towards T-spawn to just kind of check for a flank.
Well, this is smart as well because Speedy can pull Oscar. They've already got Oscar inside checker room right now from that early B pressure, and they haven't applied anything at middle. If Speedy can at least cause a rotation, at the very least pull the AWP out of checkers, then they can get into the B site a lot easier.
He might just be a free kill. He's going up against an AWP, so he's not going to commit to that whatsoever. Might just turn into a lurk position. But here comes the execute towards the B bomb site.
And Oscar doesn't find the first shot, follows it up though. There's no smoke in there. Dennis doesn't even check the bench position. He walks into the site. That's a bit peculiar, I have to say. And now Nico's trying to find that reverse angle onto Oscar, but the trades have all favored HellRaisers. Eventually Nico does get 0. And thankfully the Tech 9 will follow that up, but the bomb's been dropped. It's all onto Speedy. And we're looking at a 9-6 half unless he can pull something pretty incredible off here as he walks in once more, gets past the bench, but Sticko hears it, walks out, gets the shot.
HellRaisers had such a good read on that round. So many players over at the B bomb site that, you know, they hear the op go out, they hear maybe one more cold, they know someone might be on the on catwalk. So, I mean, that's like they're thinking as they enter into the bomb site, those are 2 people. We don't have to clear out this corner, more than likely. So doesn't even check it, gets dropped for free. And that's just HellRaisers laying a really, really nice trap. 3 members of that B site. That shuts down any of the dreams.
I would have liked to see a little bit more research done by mousesports. I'm not talking out of the game, I'm talking in it, like reconnaissance. Find out what's going on in the A. We saw them commit so many guys to the apartment so many times. I mean, we always talk about at least a default that gives you information. It didn't seem like mousesports really even applied mid-pressure in a lot of situations.
No, they really didn't. And that's a lot of the thing. They had a lot of bodies committed into the B halls early on in these rounds, and they also had Nico, you know, very, very frequently in A palace. So it's like those 2 positions, there's only a certain amount of info that you can gain from there, so they never really had that intel going into their executes late in the round. So HellRaisers pull out a really nice defense for a stretch, but mousesports kind of found a little bit of a winning formula. Once the defense switched to that double op, and they started being able to get into bomb sites, it's just so much harder to retake with those weapons. They're a little bit unwieldy.
Absolutely. Well, I think that they've definitely got their work cut out for them now. 9-6, again, though, is talking about the story with HellRaisers. This is a team that we know and admittedly have said they have communication issues. They won the minor. It looked like that could have been E-Frag that took that one. We didn't even think. To go further back than that, they had to qualify twice for the minor. They got beat by Cringe Gods in the first leg of qualification for that minor. They rejoined into the group of 512 teams, made it through for the fourth bracket, and then made it to the minor. Then they won the minor, and it was like, okay, that was a bit unexpected. Now they're here and could potentially qualify with a win in this game to the major and send this group into a complete spiral, because then we have 2 returning teams, Liquid and mousesports, who both played in the last major, and one of the 2 would not be in the next one. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
And that would just hurt my feelings.
Wouldn't it?
Liquid.
Well, how do you know?
America.
How do you know? Maybe it's mousesports.
I know, but...
Which would be equally as catastrophic in some senses.
Yeah, I mean, this has a lot of really interesting implications to how this group is going to play out moving forward. But still, really good half by HellRaisers, up 9-6 going into their terrorist half. CT side, Chris J and Nico have mid control. They see no presence whatsoever. Dennis playing from CT spawn. His entire goal here is to survive because they've smoked off connector, they've smoked off stairway. They're going to put pressure on Dennis as they execute into this A bomb site. He's got to be very careful, and you can see playing it passively, just making sure he doesn't lose his life early.
Bomb's going to go down for 0. So a great start in the round for HellRaisers once more. The only kit's in the hands of Speedy. And they need the economy. They need the start. Speedy gets the first kill. It's on Angel. Flash goes deep. He nearly gets the chance to find Kutcher, but he fights aggressively, and he'll find the headshot. It's traded by Nex. But they're buying time. It was slow to get traded, and they're still slow to execute. Nade does decent damage to Oscar. Chris follows it up, but look how low everyone that's alive on the mousesports side is. 1 HP for Chris J. There's not much more on Nex as he goes down now to Sticko, but Speedy's going to find the headshot. He holds it all together. His only kill in the round is a big one, and they'll just get this defused because he's the one that had the kit.
Yeah, so much damage is dealt to mousesports during that retake. Some of the shots they hit are shots that absolutely had to be hit in one bullet. Do you think Nex clearing out those boxes behind the bomb site? He had red HP. He takes 1 clock bullet and he's gone. So he hits a really nice first tap headshot. Good retake, but nice play from Dennis. Just staying alive back there, waiting for his teammates to come in, making sure that the terrorists can't gain control of those spawn stairs. I mean, once that happens, the retake becomes so much more difficult for any kind of CT team. So Dennis just plays a crucial role there, maybe with only getting 1 kill. And once again, HellRaisers, they do buy into this round with that plant. They even drop an AK over to Angel. So he's going to be the one to lead the way. He's an A Palace. This is a bit of a tough spot for him because they need him to open this up. They want him to get the first shot with that AK, but he's smoked off right now. So everyone's just kind of biding their time and having to wait for this.
Nico with the passive approach. Dennis is way back as well. I think he's anticipating nades potentially toward that CT stairwell. He's going to get smoked. Should equate to another bomb plant with Angel on this early AK, though. We know they're hunting for more. He's going to drop in, check out the bottom of Shadow. And Kutcher goes for the plant, but he's in the open still. He gets shot at. Has to go back to the secondary approach because Nico had him in his sights. However, with only Angel on 2 HP, they get the bomb down with 5 players still alive.
Yeah, they need to pass that AK over. That's exactly what they're going to do. That plant was highly risky. Now Nico with the UMP. He's coming up the stairs, waiting for teammates. They're going to use their utility. 4 flashbangs for them to use in this retake. Oscar's going to swing out just a little bit, has the angle. Nico can't take care of him, but there's Speedy. Oscar wins that duel. But still, the Terror's getting whittled down here in this post plant. Nice shot from Kucher. Can he get a second one? He can't. He does fall eventually, and now mousesports, just a standard cleanup for him. Looked like there was a chance there for HellRaisers to win that one out, but mousesports comes on top. 3 members survive. Another bomb plant, but next round HellRaisers are going to have to be a little bit more conservative in what they can buy.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive force, just so despite 2 bombs down. They've got to sit back. They'll get a 3rd round against them in this one for the bonus. And then they could even go double AWP into the first gun. So actually, they're going to equate to go to the 2,000 leveling point. Grab Tech-9's Deagles. The AK's been picked up for Nex on the other side. It's all 5 on rifles. There's no SMG. Nico's not fooling around this time. And look at the mid-pressure. So already a change from what we saw from mousesports. We never saw this aggression in mid. And Angel takes Nico down immediately. More frustration for him. Great nade, though. Lands on Sticko's face.
Yeah, down to 60 HP, but still, a man down. They've got to be very, very careful. Chris J, he's watching for the boost. Smart play, smart decision, because Kucher looks like he wants to jump right up into it. Not going to commit, though. He's just peeking for information. That's the kind of information gathering, so he can kind of try and direct his team a little bit. Now he's going to commit into the window, but he gets shot at, falls right back out. So a little bit of a game, a little bit of a stalemate there in middle, but still, mousesports have no eyes on this. They basically just have to play a containment.
Dennis going to watch the top of that stairwell as well, just in case if they walk through the connector, he's ready for it. They are bringing the bomb back around over toward the A site. Sticko and Palace. And Kutcher with mid control. More importantly, Angel in the window. Means they know unless anyone's inside of the A site, they're not going to easily get there. And Dennis will be the first approach, the first one to confront, because he's the anchor right now. He's the one sitting on the CT stairs holding it together in the A site, but how much can he get done? How effective will he be? Chris was waiting for the push-through window on the backside of it. No one arrives, and already Dennis goes down. It means Chris has to be quick, but now the smoke gets deployed. It's a late smoke, which means more time for HellRaisers to do as they want inside the site. He nearly finds the planter as his intended target. Sticko dropped down next to his teammate. It could have been disastrous. Instead, though, it stays with 5 alive once more for HellRaisers inside of the site with a 3rd consecutive bomb plant. Next will be the first one through. The smoke, he doesn't care. He's on top of it. They've smoked off toward the slope as well, and they're going to find 0. They're going to find Kutcher, and they've got 1 more left inside of the site, but it's Oscar, and look how clever he's being. That's a lineup, potentially 2, but next, he baits it out. He gets the tap, and he forces the player to peek him. It's low HP on both Angel and Sticko, but neither of them need to get aggressive. They can bait the time. They can figure this out. Angel tries to go for it, but where's the trade? He has to peek it. Speedy turns it around, and he's just got time with the kit.
No.
I think he does.
I cannot believe he just won that round. What a sick turnaround and a mistake. A very small mistake by Sticko to even peek in that situation. Just hide. Let your teammate play for himself. You don't need to go for the trade frag. The bomb timer's so incredibly low, you just have to sit in halls and wait for him to get back on top of it, and then you win the round for ease. So mousesports are going to survive with 1. They get away with the round there. What a retake, though, to even get in that position in a 3-on-5. Either way, like you said, that's a 3rd plant in a row for HellRaisers. So look at this buy they have going into the 4th round, despite a huge investment in the 2nd. Oscar has the op, full utility. They all have full armor, and they all have, every nade they could want. Oscar goes for that shot. Almost lands it.
The one strong approach from this, or rather strong indication from HellRaisers in this game so far, at least this T side, is that they've been getting bombs down consistently. And now with rifles up, this is a real threat. mousesports are going to have to find ways of being more effective in the early to mid round, getting the trades rather than having to play the retake. Because it's twice now we've seen clutch situations where we potentially should not have. Smoke out on the apartments, that'll hold Angel in place. And Nex has already rotated deep inside the site, so they don't have a catwalk in this position, which gives them a little bit less mid-read.
The one good thing that mousesports has going, because their economy's been beat up, so they didn't have a lot of utility. They're out of smokes, but Speedy and Nex are both playing at the B bomb site. Each of them has a Molotov to use. There goes the first one, and that might just force Angel out of position. He does burn a little bit, down to 86, not too bad, but there is going to be a second Molotov from Nex when this execute eventually comes into play. And actually, it just gets used now, so trying to run down the timer.
And Speedy has shuffled over underneath the archway, so they've got that crossfire now established in B, but rotation's coming back over toward A instead.
It's a very passive playstyle from both teams. No one really wanted to commit anything early on. Angel's going to try and cause a distraction, see if he can get a kill, force a rotation. Hasn't spotted anyone yet. There are 3 members with a 4th rotating over. All of a sudden, the A bomb site is wide open without too much of a distraction. Dennis has got to just play passively again in CT spawn. 15 seconds on the clock. Plenty of utility for HellRaisers to use. They're going to get another plant out of this.
It's going to be another retake. They've used all the utility. They have 1 smoke left for the post plant and 1 flash. It's both on 0. In fact, that second flash has now been deployed. It does catch Nico and Dennis. Buys them space. Sticko. Zero's being a little bit audacious with a late transfer using that smoke, and he actually pays off. He gets in shadow and gets a kill. Sticko's going to get one on Nico as well, and it's suddenly down to Chris J, Speedy, and Nex. One of which, Speedy, is on low HP, much like Kutcher is as well inside of Palace, but hopefully this time they won't go for the aggressive P. Chris J wants to face. Chris J's got the AWP, he lags him up, can't follow it up. Finally, the trade comes through from Oscar, and the shot from Nex this time can't turn fast enough. HellRaisers finally able to pick up a round in this half. And 4 straight bomb plants. That's the bigger issue right now.
Yeah, there was a massive rotation out of the bomb site at A for mousesports with only 1 player pressuring over towards B. They get sucked in. So an easy bomb plant for HellRaisers again, and they have finally destroyed the economy of mousesports. It's going to be all pistols on the mousesports side. Dennis is bought up with the Deagle. He's down to below 1,000. There's no utility on the CT side, no flashes, no smokes, just 1 kit onto Speedy. This is double save territory for mousesports, so great position for HellRaisers to be in, and now Oscar's starting to open things up for him.
HellRaisers showing up very, very well on this map so far. Chris J with the 5-7. Kutcher's waiting for that, though. Smartly, for his own sake, will fall back inside of the site with Dennis to play aggressively on the ramp. And I think they may consider going on this. And if they do, it's Sticko and Zero waiting for them. Zero's already spotted. They actually take the peek regardless, and both go down. All for naught, as Oscar sits with 55 HP. That's the only damage dealt so far in return. But there's the Deagle from Nico. That's 1. Gives Nex a chance to go for the peek. He needs to be careful because 3 players still watching this. Gets the shot with the P250 and follows it up on 0. That's a pretty ridiculous situation on the fact that a flash backfires and the headshots come out. He's now got an AWP. Spalm's there. They've got to go back for this, but he's staying aggressive. He should have fallen back with that weapon and played with Nico. They had a chance to play in spades and go for a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, sometimes when you get shots like those first 2 with the P250, though, you're just like, I've got some luck. So Nico on this flank, this timing could be perfect because they're not paying attention to whatsoever, and he does spot the elbow, but it's not good enough to take a shot. But that might be a blessing in disguise because they have no clue he's going to be coming this fast on the flank. Nico with a great chance to close the round out that his buddy Nex started. And he's on the hunt. 20 seconds left. They've got to plant at this A bomb site, and he's going to be coming up the stairs right behind him.
He's here as well. Bomb planter. It goes down, but he finds him. Sticko's got time to turn. It's still going to be a one-on-one battle, but Nico instantly spots him up, sees the shoulder, gets the headshot. Defuse going to come out, and mousesports answer back immediately.
That's beautiful stuff. Yeah, you're right. Nex makes a little bit of an over-aggressive play. Nico more than makes up for it there, though. A 1-on-2 win. Unlucky positioning for HellRaisers there that Nico's going for that fast flank like that. So they had to make a decision, go towards the A bomb site. And mousesports, they get away with one because HellRaisers had him in a perfect position to go up with a massive lead. Rebuying into this round, up again onto Oscar. With 18 kills, he's started to open things up for him with this AWP, finding some early kills a couple rounds now. 10-10, all tied up, and this is crucial. Both teams fully bought out, essentially. Nico and Dennis, the only ones with money on the mousesports side. Whoever wins this round is going to force a save out of the other. Nico with the opening 2 kills. Now he's come alive, and it just gets dangerous for HellRaisers.
Absolutely come alive. Remember, we were talking about his slow performance in the first half. It's Chris J that actually struggles in this game. He's only got 5 kills, so not finding his form. But Nico back up now to 14, so he's definitely made his impact felt over the last 2 rounds in specific, and how quickly they've slowed down on HellRaisers' side, their approach. Now, they've got an open A bomb site. That's the interesting thing. They have got Tetris at least that far forward into the A side already, and Dennis back towards CT because he knows if a nade comes out, he's a goner. And Chris is going to play passive as well from jungle. So once more, we could see another bomb plant.
Oh yeah, mousesports is showing a willingness to play retake on this A bomb site. You can see it's giving a lot of plants over towards HellRaisers, but mousesports is going to be fine with that as long as they continue to win these retakes. Now Oscar's had a lot of space to work with the AWP to find an angle. The bomb is going to get planted here. Oscar's in a really tough spot. He's going to get that first kill, but someone's still right in CT spawn. Not ready for that. Dennis pops out at the opportune moment. He was so low. But there's Sticko, gets in a connector with the deagle headshot on the neck, so he's found a spot as well to defend against this retake. Molotov comes out, 0 in Palace. It's a 2-on-3 situation. Nico's got to be careful. Dennis, that one kill forces Zero to get a little bit aggressive, and the timing's perfect for Nico. Another good retake for mousesports.
I mean, that's one thing that's been pretty impressive is how many retakes they've been successful on. And 2 of them you can attribute to having the extra 5 seconds on the bomb. The speedy one in particular. But I think teams are adapting. You know, at first it was like they were getting a little bit lucky with that 5 seconds. It's now become part of the meta. Teams are dragging things out. They are trying to find these angles and check more of the spots. So I'm slowly warming up to it, Moses.
Slowly?
Slowly. My heart's still frozen, though. Henry's not here to thought.
Oh, that's how it's going to be,
yeah,
huh?
I knew you were going to respond.
Just a dagger right in the kidneys.
All right, we'll work it out later. A tequila warms up everything in my body. Just remember that. So Chris J goes for the fast peek that time again, not able to find the opening picks as he's known for. But he does get information that they are approaching on mid, and Nico gets some good damage done onto Oscar, who burrows into the underpass for safety. A Molotov from Speedy will lock him there as well.
Mid control, there's Nico chiming in with one more. And mousesports on both sides of the map hasn't really wanted to contend against mid control. For or against it, actually. So maybe it might be some kind of a situation. You could see, if you look at the mousesports side between these rounds, if we can bring up tab and see the scores, Chris J is the one really underperformed. 5 kills for him in this matchup. He's the AWPer. So without that AWP, mid control is very, very difficult. Now long range defense, these M4s going to work on the pistols. HellRaisers are going to be at a depot. Oh, what a shot. See you later, Speedy.
Well, that's a way to get back into it, slightly. Unfortunately, so far away that they won't be able to recover the weapon. That would have been also a saving grace, as Nex is going to hold the angle, and Angel leaves just Sticko remaining now in the round. Be beautiful to do more economic damage in this case.
Yeah, that is the one thing he can accomplish here. And one more kill, force another rebuy, keep the money as low as possible. The scary part is, you know, they had everything they wanted. They'd reset this economy being up, you know, to when they were tied 9-9, they win that 10th round, resets the economy, and they give it right back to mousesports. So there is going to be that final kill. 12-10 now. HellRaisers, this is a crucial round for them to get back on the board. Look at how many plants they've had in this round, though. 5 plants, 5 retakes for mousesports.
That's actually pretty impressive stuff, and pressure's starting to be put upon the shoulders of the HellRaisers. Remember, they'll have to go to a best-of-3 against Liquid, who already played them this morning, and although they were victorious, it was a close game, so it's not a comfortable situation. This group is now extremely close and up for grabs by anyone. mousesports with a chance to seize it first, but Sticko makes that not necessarily going to be as easy as it sounds. As Angel takes down Chris J, they now have the man advantage, and look at Dennis's HP. Just 9 to work with. He's going to have to play support and rear gunner to Nico, and having gone down a man, Nico's doing the right thing. He needs to try and push forward, get a pick and information, so into Palace he will try and find himself, but as we see it, the bomb and the bias, most of the men from the terrorist side are on to B.
Well, HellRaisers is still very spread out across this map. If Nico can find a kill on this flank, that could be pretty big. That would bring it back down into a 3-on-3, and you can see the gamble from mousesports. 2 players in the B bomb site, letting Nico just play in this advanced position. He's not moving from here. This is just to hear some information. Actually, now he decides to push forward. Nico's looking at it, doesn't spot him in time. That's the bomb. 1 more kill for Nico. He grabs it. Huge plays from Nico. Grave and his team has huge advantage of this round. Oscar left. He's going to peek out. He spots one, though. He's going to get this kill.
Angel as well came through late. We didn't see it off camera and found Nico inside T-spawn. Dennis now with the 9 HP has to clutch this, and it looked like Nico did the right thing to give them back the advantage. And suddenly it falls apart very quickly. Oscar finds Dennis. And it's back to save. They're in a force buy situation. I think you should go for it here if you're mousesports.
Look at chat.
As I picked my nose.
Sticko saying that Nico picks the perfect time to peek, essentially. As he picked his nose, he was not prepared for the flank.
You got to get rid of those boogies, though, bro.
That's something you do in freeze time. Rookie mistake.
It's true. But it might have been really itchy. Molotov into connector. Nico's going to get forced back up inside the A side as a result of it. Flashes through the smoke as well on Catwalk, and HellRaisers looking to take mid-control any way possible. Nico, though, goes for the crossover, spots them up. And it is going to be the Pistols. They're playing the long game, mousesports. They know they have a round in hand still over that of HellRaisers, but Zero's going to get Nico, and unfortunately the Pistols so far, although doing damage, have not secured a kill or any shutdown on the approach. Now watch the B side, because that's where the execution will come in. They've got the bomb already in the apartments, and Sticko's doing good work to try and hold off the CTs in rotation. And they pulled Speedy back toward Checker as well.
There's not really much left. Next is going to push forward. That's a free shot on the back of Zero, and Dennis finds one as well, down to a 3-on-3. Now Speedy's over here. There was some magic from Zero with pistols in the first half for HellRaisers. Can Speedy emulate that? The bomb is being planted. He's making no attempt to stop it. So the bomb does get planted. There's Oscar perched up. He finds a kill. Speedy inside the bomb site. He's just hiding, and I don't think they know he's here, but Oscar's about to find him out at maybe. There it is. There's the peak, and Oscar's going to clean it out. 3 kills for Oscar with the AWP. It's now 12-12, all tied up. And it is going to be plenty of money for the mousesports side to buy into this round. Chris J, 6,400. Is he going to go for the AWP? Nico's going to be on the UMP. There's the op out of Chris J. So it's time now. If ever there was a time, a good round for him to come alive, it'd be at 12-12 with the AWP. Start taking over a little bit. Because Oscar's been wreaking havoc with it.
Absolutely. I mean, not only that, Chris J has been a little bit quiet, so they need to find an opening. Chris back to middle. Into the smoke, nearly gets Angel. That was as close as you'd like. As Kutcher now up on the ledge at A is going to get in position in case anyone pushes through. Dennis wants to do exactly that. Flash, does it catch Kutcher? It does, because he's looking up to throw the smoke. He's going to go down inevitably as Dennis gets a great pick early. Now they can try and turtle back. Smart response from HellRaisers. You push A aggressively, we'll take where you're not. That's Connector. And Zero's in a good position to try and push through and get into CT now. The problem is that Nex had already crossed over inside of that kitchen, and Zero was never expecting him to be there. So it was the right attempt for HellRaisers, but it gets shut down.
There was a gap of opportunity. You're right. That was a really, really good aggressive call from HellRaisers to get up and make that play. But fortunately, mousesports closed the door on it just in time, just before it can be too damaging. So all 5 members alive still. And Chris, this is the thing. Look at the positioning of Chris J as well. And CT spawn, so he's playing very passively, waiting to see if anyone else is going to try and push through this hole, try and get a flank on one of the bomb sites. But he's also far removed from any possible action. So he's just in an information gathering position, basically. Now here comes the read from mousesports. They see Angel up on Catwalk. He's been taken very low earlier, so Dennis just cleans him out, and Oscar left for the desperation, just trying to spam through the wall. 3 members of mousesports are going to be here.
Slow the pace, 26 seconds to play with. Interesting that HellRaisers are walking back down B. I imagine they're clearing their flank because there's not really ample time to head elsewhere. They seem to think they can get a wrap through the underpass. That or they're just going to save. They have to save. 10 seconds at this point. They're committed to it.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do. And this is the... I don't mind this call because
money.
Kucher's going to be able to buy next round. Angel's going to be able to have a light buy, and Zero should be able to have armor and pistols if they're going to go that route and buy into this. So as well, on top of that, the AK and the op that they just saved.
Yeah, they should be able to drop over at least an SMG toward Angel, or rather to Zero.
SMG. Just go with the Deagle, baby. Get those Tech 9s out. Start swarming the bomb site. Get aggressive.
I like it. You are aggressive, Moses. That beard last week in Barcelona was aggressive, Moses.
It was aggressive.
I liked it. I liked it. Showing some wisdom in your old age. But
beard equates to wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it. I mean, there's 2 things a beard
Andrew's
does.
proving that theory wrong.
2 things that a beard does: disguises a man with an ugly face, or it compensates for a lack of hair, which is obviously why you have it. So that said, speaking of wisdom,
we are an interesting turn.
Yes, it did. We are in a timeout, and it's going to be called by HellRaisers because they do have the decision to make based on this situation where an AK and an AWP have been saved.
I think they buy here for sure, especially. They started this off getting so many plants, and they've been just getting crushed these last few. Well, not crushed, but they haven't been. These last 2 rounds that mousesports have won, they haven't really been able to sniff the bomb site. But in a situation now where some money is built up in the mousesports side, so HellRaisers, they're going to have to win 2 to force a save. But both teams in that situation where if the economy gets broken, I mean, they're at a severe disadvantage at this stage, this late into the half, into the match, actually, for that qualifying spot. But a big decision to make, and Kucher just bought up an AK-47, so this is going to be a buy round for HellRaisers.
I mean, this is a very similar situation to how back and forth that Dust 2 game with G2 and Tempo Storm was, and we saw how quickly it looked like it was going to go one way. Yeah. One team has the economic advantage, and 2 rounds go against them, and they never got back into it. And unfortunately, for Tempo Storm in that case, it cost them the game. So they do have to consider this correctly. And interestingly enough as well, to compare again, it was a forced buy situation where they had to decide for G2 that won them the game essentially.
Yep. I would really like to see HellRaisers use the mid control that mousesports is essentially giving them, do something very fast and aggressive towards the A bomb site, do like a split up connector with some smokes to block off jungle, get up into that bomb site. You've had success there finding plants, and just trust that you're going to be able to win the post plant situation.
I mean, winning the post plant situation though
That's
has
been the tough part, right?
Major
Because
issue for them. Yeah. Bring that up again just so I can count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diffuses. Okay, so we got 5 diffuses.
I think
and
it's
a
5
timeout
diffuses on 6 plants. I think that one round they won in the 4th is actually a plant that they just won by
killing.
Yep, killing the opponent.
That's actually a ridiculous statistic. And most of those retakes, in fact, all of those retakes have been on A.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing too, because mousesports has been playing that style, that passive style at that site, where it allows the plants to go down. Even back to pistol round, you saw Dennis. He's playing in those spawn stairs, so he can easily fall back into cover if they're taking into the site. So a lot of room for HellRaisers to work there if they can just win out in the end. But that's the trouble. The big advantage they've had is Oscar with this op has just been, there's no response from mousesports in terms of the opping department. It's been Nico who's had some huge impact kills, Dennis who's had some huge impact rounds. So HellRaisers now, Zero only has a pistol, a P250, 2 AKs, a Galil on Angel, and Oscar with that AWP. And what do they head towards? 3 members towards the A bomb site, 2 towards mid. The bomb is towards A, so this could very easily be that A split.
Could very well be. They still need to make sure they can get position inside a connector. That seemingly looks easy, though, based on the positions. It's so passive in mid. They know they've been being smoked out in the window, mousesports, but they don't even try and get anyone into the position. Finally, Speedy does rotate over, and actually this starts to favor them because with the third man inside of the A site,
well, this
they're
time
be forward of the smokes, too.
Yeah, they're committed to the site as well. It's not the retake strategy, so HellRaisers are going to run into more trouble than they thought.
Zero pistol might actually be the difference in the round as the rifles, again, definitely favor mousesports. Caught in the open, though. Angel inside a connector, can't even fire a shot in return as Nico, a good early peek. They now have information that there's going to be a split attempt. And the flashes come out. Nico gets a quick reload in, but it's Dennis instead up close that gets the first kill. Nico follows it up. Zero goes down in these positions, forward positions. They're going to shut things down before it's even possible. Oscar will get one for the sake of it, but he's got 3 more to win the round. And they've got good positions with the bomb dropped on the slope at A where they don't even need to peek. They don't even need to force the issue.
Yeah, this was a bummer for HellRaisers. Nice adjustment of the defense out of the timeout for mousesports. Using Chris J very passively playing in market to watch B, that allows them to stack and commit so much to the stack at the A site. Now Oscar, he's just casually strolling up. Hasn't seen anybody quite yet. There's the peek, but Chris J is going to get it. He ends the round 14-12, and HellRaisers, they were heavily invested in that round. This they could buy here. They'd only have 1 AK at least, more than likely, but this might just be a situation where they do the half-buy Tech-9s, see if there's some kind of a prayer or a dream that they can win the round, or otherwise just let mousesports get to 15 and play for overtime. And we have an R8.
I rate that. I'm not going to do that joke. That's old.
Just get out of here.
I'm done.
Just
I
get
like
out.
it, and I still troll with it, but this is ridiculous. All right, so here it is. He's going to play it like a scout. Pre-fire the angle.
Do not leave
get the
this
bolt
man.
ready, and that's what he tries to do.
Right.
But that's about like that's like a 1 in 10 case. All right, Kutcher, he wants to try at it.
I love it.
Let's go for it. I mean, they are effectively playing for overtime, as you said. They didn't fully invest into this round as they could have done to try and
We need production to queue
issue.
up like the Will Smith Wild Wild West theme song.
Yeah, please.
That would be sick.
Oh, this is good timing, though, from Oscar. Nico nearly got caught out. He just turns back in time. And they'll take down Oscar at the connector. Kutcher, come on, baby. Go for the right clicks. Go for the right clicks. Just hit that bolt with the left hand, baby. But it's not going to happen. Nico's going to shut that down. Angel will get back in with the deagle. Funny how that gun worked a lot better in that situation. I like how they're all taking a turn with this, though.
Why not? I like it.
I mean, it's only a major qualifier, best of 1, where you're 2 rounds behind. No big deal.
Come on. Play some Gladiator with the R8. Let's do it. Oh, no. Come on now.
I want to see a run boost where he goes by left-clicking, just boom,
Yeah,
boom,
right.
boom.
That'd be incredible.
Or right-clicking, rather. That would be sick. Just 2 headshots out of it, too. Like, why not?
Even the attempt would just be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the Cowboys aren't going to get much done in this game. I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I'm told that apparently they don't get much done in their games either. Angel gets up connector. We'll see if they can try and get a bomb out of this, but I highly doubt it given Dennis's position. They're going to wait for the plant to go down. And this is interesting from HellRaisers. Rather than be predictable, they'll try and cut off the CT players
It's going to come out to timing here.
They've got an M4 to this as well, so that's Chris J down. This actually works out. Zero, he's pushed forward. He goes for the repeak on Speedy, who didn't land the shot initially. They've got a chance as this Deagle gets forward. Speedy's now down. Another gun picked up. Zero's going to go for the plant. We were writing this round off. It nearly works out, but Nex lines them both up in the end.
Yeah, they had to go for the plant there. Had to just try and stick it. So an easy win there at the end for Nex. Nex and Nico both with 23. So is Dennis. 3 members on mousesports at 23 kills. So nicely done from those 3 guys, pulling them up towards 15. And now it's HellRaisers back against the wall. They have to buy into every single round. They have to make this work. Oscar back on the AWP.
This is it. Play for overtime, or mousesports with one more round will find themselves in another major. Remember, they took the core from Penta and had an invite for the last one. Or rather 2 ago. That was Cologne. The last one they did have to qualify for Cluj, but regardless, it's been a struggle, and they want to get this done and over with early.
I like this. I like the change of pace that mousesports are doing. They did try a mid push that failed, that got decimated, but they have been aggressive down A ramp a couple times now, so they're forcing HellRaisers back. You could see HellRaisers, the opening portions of these rounds, don't want to take fights. So when that aggression does come down on the ramp, they just fall away from it. Now they've got to retake control of this. A minute left in the round. Dennis still playing on the ramp, though. So they've got to be very careful. He's on top of a flower pot there, and you can see the bombs in the B halls, and Kucher and Oscar as well are going to go meet up with them there. Nex and Speedy are going to be the first line of defense, but this is a good peek from mousesports. They pop flash down A ramp and they push. They get the information that no one's there. Now they can readjust and rotate the defense accordingly.
And Chris is going to be
slowly.
Well, he was going to check the catwalk first and then head over toward that checker position, so he's going to be in a good position when they come in. Not only that, the Molotov means that he can check all that and get into position early. That's what he's done. There's the shot. Angel down. 2 more will cross immediately after as he has to rebolt the gun, but it's Speedy in the corner. Oscar, good shot in return from his AWP, though, holds off the catwalk position. Sticko's got one. This is traded back, and suddenly Oscar in on the drop with the AWP. He hits a headshot. And now the bomb is going to be planted. Oscar once more will pop out. It's 3 kills in the round for him as he holds it together. HellRaisers not willing to drop down and have to play that best of 3s just yet. They'll take this round as Dennis goes on the retreat. And
so the plot thickens because the economy of mousesports is not strong. Chris J will have money to drop one, I guess, if they want to buy. Drop one and have a couple light buys, but $700 on Speedy, Nex, and Nico right around $1,500. Dennis is just going to, I mean, there's really not too many options available. So next round might actually be a save or maybe a half investment for mousesports. But this is a tough spot to be in. I would expect that after this, mousesports is going to call a timeout when this round ends. They're going to have to talk things over because they have a decision to make here.
Peering down at them. Nico. Hand upon his chin, as he often does when he's pondering, but no timeout called. So they are going to just go with this. So
they're just going to save this round, and I imagine they'll use their timeout on the next one for that last. There's no reason not to.
Exactly. There isn't any reason not to.
Even if it's just to not change anything, you know, maybe it's kind of like a fake timeout. Maybe you make HellRaisers think that you're going to have some kind of a change to your strategy. Either way, HellRaisers isn't going to change too much in how they're playing. So passive early on. Chris J is going to get aggressive and underpass. There's the M4 goes down to Oscar. Is someone there to recycle it? Zero's going to get the next chance. Obliterates Chris, who just falls very, very swiftly. So now 5-on-3 advantage for HellRaisers.
And for those people that always seem to think the force buy and play for the win is the option, HellRaisers taking the long approach. It could favor them. We know this round is effectively done. We're going to go into round 30. And the money on Dennis is still going to be grim. So they're going to rely effectively on Chris J to drop out. But as Chris J's not been hitting his shots, is it worth it to him to drop, or does he still go for the AWP? Nico, good forward stance once more. He's been good at compensating the differences and finding equalizing kills. Next gets a great shot onto Angel at B. Now the defense are divided. But they pulled it back to only a 1-man advantage, and I think from here they may look to group because Nex is already heading Nico's direction. Means they'll give up the B site. But they won't give up one-on-one duels. Unfortunately, Nex has not been able to grab a gun in all of this. He actually is going to flank around. He will find one at underpass. That's where one is sitting right now. If he can get there quick enough, and Bomb's going to go down a little bit late from Sticko because they don't want to take the chance of missing an angle, not covering a corner, and having him drop it. Especially late in the round when Nico gets in position towards catwalk where he is now. He's forward to that smoke, and Sticko hasn't spotted him yet either because he's back in behind the site. He wasn't ready for that peek. And now Nico with a great chance, but the crossfire setup. HellRaisers compensate, and it's going to go to round number 30.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a great opportunity there in that round. I was thinking that mousesports, I was wondering what decision they were going to make. If they're going to save those 2 weapons into the next round, that would have allowed them to have a little bit more utility, but they went for it. That first kill made it possible, made it really possible. They do fall in the end, but now 15-14, last chance for mousesports to earn their berth or to have to play for it in overtime. HellRaisers making a really, really nice comeback here on Mirage.
They're going to try and hold this together as well, play it more passively this time, more methodically. HellRaisers, they look for picks once more. Sticko's going to throw out the late smoke toward mid. Been there every single round, so Speedy this time will be on the backside of it with an M4. But Chris J's been the victim of it most often. This time, though, he's taken an alternate approach as he finds a kill on Angel. That's the one player that was evaluating the B apartments. And they've got mid control to work with HellRaisers, but they've got to go back for the bomb. It's at the horseshoe, and Dennis and Nex are already forward on the A slope. So if they lost that player on B, that's going to persuade them onto A. And the defense on the A site for mousesports right now is as good as you could possibly have it.
Yeah,
the
really
one
is.
exception that can make it better is if Speedy came through the vents to cover off the top of connector. Because Zero is burrowed in there.
They more than likely, I mean, with the mid control, the fact they haven't given up, they don't know he's there, but I know they're thinking that it's possible, and they're definitely going to keep their eye on it from the safe bombs. You can see Nico's rotating back and forth. It might be something to do with timing, but you're exactly right. mousesports, 3 members at the safe bomb site. They haven't even moved out of it, so once again, HellRaisers with a slow A pinch are going to run into tough defense.
Zero's going to have to be the one to open this up, though. He's come over. There was no one covering that position at connector. And now next, he's got to gamble. He's got the first one. There's no answer immediately from Sticko. It almost gives him the chance to line up the second. It's awkward from Speedy, but he does put down Oscar in the end if he was quick about it. Sticko might not have had the chance, but it's a one-on-one, and it's overtime, or it's mousesports making it through to Columbus at the end of the month. Sticko already looking to try and go for the plant. Chris going to lurk on this. He's still holding the AWP, and Sticko's going to elevate himself. This is a perfect position from Sticko, and it's going to be the overtime. HellRaisers forced the issue, and that is why they saved 3 rounds ago. It all pays off.
What an incredible comeback, 3 rounds in a row. And they had to, in a 4-on-5, they had to break into a stacked defense at that A bomb site for mousesports, who can't outlast them. Good trades come through for HellRaisers, and eventually they make it work in that one-on-one. You could see Chris J there taking a deep breath, because he's got to collect himself now after, especially, rough match, and then losing a one-on-one to allow overtime. He's got to find a way to get back into this game. But this is sick stuff. Out of HellRaisers, this has been a fantastic performance out of them.
This started with 0. Now he's only on 22 kills. That's still pretty sick. He's over the 20 bomb in a regulation match. But you got to remember, it was the 6 kills at the start of this. In the 2 rounds they did win. Allowed them to get back into this economically. Since then, I have to say Sticko's also been outrageously good. Oscar with the AWP, can't rule him out. He's at 30 frags total.
He's had a massive impact with that all.
And you want to compare that directly.
Yeah.
That's Chris J's battle. And Chris J's on 9.
Listen, throw the economy out the window now that we head towards the end of that half, because everyone starts with $10,000, 3 rounds per half of overtime as we move forward into this. Oscar buys up the AWP, obviously. Light on the nades, though. Perhaps to save a little bit of money going forward. This time, HellRaisers looks a little bit more fast-paced and aggression towards mid. They have the basic catwalk smoked off. Angel's going to push right through it. Chris J's going to be there, misses a shot. Now he's got to get out of there, and he does make it safely back.
It's another shot you'd expect Chris to hit, though. And what a difference it would make in this overtime to give them the man advantage early. How far back he rotates as well. He entirely gives up middle. He entirely gives up jungle and goes to anchor onto A. Now, the good news is from his position, with Nico able to cover off the Palace and Dennis forward on the ramp, he'll be able to play ticket booth to watch the connector. That was the issue in the last round. That's why we got here. So at least they've got eyes on it this time.
This is going to be that same strategy that got him in overtime, that slow pinch on the A bomb site. Zero's already found himself, in connector. Dennis is pushed again towards A ramp, and he's going to have a job to do. Sticko's going to be the first one to come around the corner. Is he going to pop flash? There's the pop flash for the defense. Dennis piece with it, can't land the shot though. And Oscar cleans him out. Now it's Nico's turn. Aggression behind it. He gets that kill. So does Chris J towards mid.
And that was the difference. Chris J was in position this time with the AWP. Zero couldn't just walk in. And Chris J, that's a good shot from him as well to find Angel jumping into the window. They've definitely read that HellRaisers want to take window from them. But the response to it and not having people in jungle has costed them a few times. It's now all on Oscar, 1 versus 4. Him with the AWP. Has been effective in most rounds. This time, I dare say he's outnumbered and outweighed and outmatched. He's going to have to fall back and find an alternate approach.
Might as well just do a full sprint to that B bomb site. I don't even know if he can actually get there in time. In fact, now that he's taking this really slow, he's just going to save this weapon.
He's going to go down. Speedy's already in position. If he walks out that doorway, Speedy's there. And that's going to happen. And he goes down. And remember, you say throw out the economy, but if you lose 2 rounds consecutively with AWP's bot, you do have to save in the third of an MR3 overtime. So that could now be a factor, but we'll see if they can get the response here from HellRaisers.
Oscar's got to go right back to the AWP. It's been huge. Yep, Sticko's actually going to drop it over to him. He drops the AK in return. Chris J still has his, obviously, but a nice opening round of overtime from mousesports. This time a change in the defense. A little bit of mid-pressure. Nope, it's going to be a boost for Chris J to go through the vents. That'll be for a faster cat peek, perhaps. It is smoked off at the moment, and actually Chris is just going to grab the angle. Angel's going to be the sole member of HellRaisers here to keep mid-control. Watch for flanks. Meanwhile, everyone from HellRaisers in these B halls, there's no presence towards the A site. Dennis is going to get aggressive there, but it doesn't even matter. There's Chris J starting to come alive. Nice shot onto Angel.
Now he's got 3 kills in the last 2 rounds. And you needed him. It's going to be in the overtime. Gun barrel protrudes. Speedy spots it. Can't get the kill. They now know he's below the windowsill, but Chris J finds one more. It's Kutcher. Was the first man in. Speedy gets Sticko as well. Zero might get him in turn, but they haven't got the AWP out of position just yet toward that window. Instead, it's going to be faced by Oscar. A 1 versus 1 straight up with the AWPs as Zero will go to work inside of the site. He has the bomb. And Oscar gets a little bit bored and tired of waiting for that Molotov to dissipate. He'll force the issue. A great shot on Chris in through the window. And now he's got position as well, but it's only going to be the lag through the edge of the wall. It doesn't take next down. That leaves him in the open. And Zero needs to find the kills. He needs to find the trades. Look how low they end up on HP. The mousesports pick up 2 straight in overtime.
Yeah, Oscar almost pulls that round back into believable territory. Almost makes it work. They do get cleaned out. 2 men to deal with. Next had great position there, preventing the plant, biding time for his teammates to get into the rotate. Chris J also, both rounds of overtime, we should say. Talked about him having a rough match in regulation. Doesn't really matter if you come alive during overtime, and he's had 2 kills in these 2 round wins for mousesports. 2 kills in each. And now you can see that economic punishment. Styko, who dropped an op over to Oscar, he's on a deagle. Oscar himself, who had bought an op, is just out of sawed-off shotgun. And Angel legged right off the bat. So HellRaisers, now they have a hole in this round.
Next, playing a slightly different angle this time. He's going to spot them jumping through the smoke. It's 2 kills. And that guy doesn't sprinkle when he tinkles because that's perfect spray control. It's now just Angel and Zero remaining. And yet to pick up a round in this first half of overtime. HellRaisers, they might have done well to get themselves here, but they've got an issue to get much further, as it will subside to a 4 versus 2. Unfortunately, Speedy puts a well-placed Molotov, and from Angel's perspective, he jumps into it. It's now just down to 0.
Yeah, not too much left for him to really do in this round. He's going to have to just fall away. 1 on 4, minute left, so he's got some time to play with, but he's going to have some miraculous shots to open things up. And mousesports is going to have just a grossly misplay this round from here on out. They're going to give that up to him. So this is looking like mousesports is going to be up 3-0 in overtime, and what a statement after they lost the last 3 in regulation to force overtime. And now they win 3 in a row to start this off. So into the second half, HellRaisers, they have no mistakes to give.
Got nothing else to give either, if you know what I mean.
Something about sprinkling and tinkling?
I don't know.
It's incredible.
I think it has something to do with Zero, something else to give, but Zero's going to try and give it all right now. In the 1 versus 4, he's got information that there's one out toward the van. He'll find the first pick. Opens up a little bit of space and opportunity, but Speedy's going to hold true. The headshot, and it's 3 straight rounds now for mousesports.
Yeah, that's sick stuff. That's really nice, and it's all on Chris J. Those first 2 overtime rounds that he has, he gets crucial kills in each of them, impact kills. And that's what allows mousesports to really win. I mean, winning the first 2, you mentioned it, that 3rd round, if you lose the first 2, becomes really economically difficult to deal with. You can see Deagle's shotgun, huge disadvantage for HellRaisers in that last one. So they've come so far, but it looks like mousesports has grabbed this one by the throat, and now they can just finish it off.
Could you say they've come so far? And they tried so hard and come so far, but in the end, I messed that one up. You know where I was going with that.
Yeah, you just wrecked yourself.
It's all right. I didn't listen to that band. I had better taste in music. I was busy with Backstreet Boys.
Jeez. You Canadians had some really nice music stars during the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, we still have...
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, Alanis. You love... What is your obsession with her, by the way? Well, second half now. And if mousesports pick this one, it's all done. It's all dusted. They'll be the 9th team in the major. And HellRaisers, if pressure was on before to try and force out overtime with its 3 straight rounds to win, it's definitely on now. and they won't have the economy on their side to try and do it. They can't break their opposition. mousesports electing to go with 5 AKs as well, and it's a double up for obvious reasons from HellRaisers. One of which is Stickout. He's playing out toward this anchor position in the A site. He's actually going to spot up next on the stairwell. No smoke off on top of him. They'll make up for that now, but it's a giant gap. He could actually get on top of the box. Chris J gets Angel down, and Zero gets him in turn, so it still favors HellRaisers, but the executions come in. The smokes are in place, and Speedy's going to be able to get the bomb plant in an open angle for Catwalk for mousesports.
Yeah, but Oster's on Catwalk with the AWP. There's the other one chiming in. Dennis, he's getting pressured from Nero. Pop Flash comes out. He's not blind. It actually blinds Zero instead. 2-on-3 situation now. And Speedy, he's going to be the one. Flash comes out. It goes over him, and he's got a new position. They might not expect this whatsoever. There's the first kill. Speedy stays alive, gets the second as well. Hero play from Speedy and Oscar with this AWP in a 1-on-2. He's got to save it, but it's not going to happen. And mousesports has earned their way in overtime to the Major.
And hats off to HellRaisers. This is quite a story. Having to try twice just to get to the minor, putting together a team late, and they nearly get the first spot, but in the end it's going to be mousesports. A team that people definitely consider to be on the cusp of the Tier 1, but seem to find ways to make it hard for themselves. It has to be said, they don't here. They make it through, and Nico is the in-game leader. This will be his first time in-game leading in a major, the first $1 million major. And Angel knows how close they came, and unfortunately it means they've got to do twice as much work now as they'll face off against Team Liquid in a best of 3. Coming up to decide that group at the end of the night.
Is that at the end of the night?
I believe so. Yeah, that one's today. Because there's one best of 3 today.
There's tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow night.
Are you sure? I was told that the Group B best of 3 was this evening. The others are all tomorrow.
All right, we'll see who's right. We'll bet some, like, shout out to Keelan or something.
I wasn't here for rehearsal
that
because
was,
I was slacking off.
Yeah, you
so
were a little bit late.
It's okay.
Flights, winter storms. Yeah, that was a really sick match. Nicely done. Come back into overtime, but we're going to let the analyst desk break it down. So, Richard, there you go.
Thanks a lot for that, gentlemen. And Sadakist, you would have known had you arrived on time that that's not true. There isn't going to be a best of 3 today. But, you know, you did go to that hockey game. So
see, the problem with Sadakist is I'm surprised he arrived late. I mean, his problem is he's never on time. Usually he comes too quick.
That's what I've heard, you know, on the streets. But
to
this time,
meetings, the production
yeah,
meetings.
of course, absolutely.
What else were you referring to?
I don't even know, mate.
You know anything about this, Blue?
But Blue definitely doesn't. So, reference game incredibly on point. Let's move on. So, what did you think of that then? We had another overtime, and HellRaisers continue to kind of defy our expectations. They were pretty good there, especially some of the new kids on the block.
Yeah, they were looking really good there. Unfortunately, when it all came down to the end of it, they seemed to drop the ball pretty hard there in overtime, and obviously mousesports came out in the true form that we were expecting them to, but another very close match for HellRaisers, which begs the question, when we see that rematch down there at the bottom of the bracket now, who's going to win in the best of 3? That's the real question now, because that's where it's going to get very interesting.
And that's where HellRaisers have historically struggled. But I got to say, this is HellRaisers won the European minor playing terribly. I can see a clear improvement on what I saw in Bucharest here. They're actually looking like they're capable of pulling out these performances now, you know, with not one person carrying, but actually other people are starting to supplement each other. Are they starting to impress you?
Yeah, especially because, actually, like I said, Sticko's someone where I've seen him play many games that were underwhelming on LAN. But he was the guy where it looked quite fluky when he did the rounds against Team Liquid, but he was doing the same thing here. I mean, they wouldn't even be in overtime if it wasn't for him. So he was doing it. Zero actually was much more improved in this game than he was in the first game. So it's not just Oscar carrying the game. Like, it'd be one thing if Oscar carried and that's why they got a best of 1 win. Okay, I could believe that. But actually, it's been more of a team effort overall. Angel Kutch is still having some issues, but if you've got 2 or 3 other people going off, you've got a chance. I mean, we did say coming into it, this isn't a great map for mousesports guys. They actually got to a map that neither of them really like, because obviously the randometer was what picked it out in the end. But no, actually, they had the similar quality to what they had against Team Liquid, which was the number of clutch rounds they were able to win out. And so I'm not sure why, because they had that sound tactically, but if you can win those clutch round situations, those 2v2s, 1v2s, 2v3s, then you're always going to be in with a shout in a game. And they had their chances in this game. They were leading for quite a while.
Well, we are going to talk about mousesports, but Blue, you were on replay duty. You've picked one of them out for us, so we're going to bring that up for you. That is our replay brought to you by The Score Esports. What's happening in this one, Blue?
Yeah, so this is where we had a couple of great plays starting to happen now. I'm trying to remember exactly where this happened, but I believe this was the clutch that came out from Zero too. This was a great play from him. As we talk about HellRaisers a little bit, pulling off this was absolutely fantastic, and again, started around that. Like, there was definitely quite a few rounds. I think for both teams, there was quite a few mistakes made by both sides when there's situations where, like, that just really shouldn't be happening.
I think what's crazy is, I think it might have been the round before that or the round before that. I'm not sure which one it was, but that was when he got the 3 kills with the pistol and pretty much won them an eco round as well. So Zero in the early game, he went out to like 12 and 4 or something ridiculous, and really carried him through the early stages.
To their credit, though, they also felt the same mistakes a little bit later on. There was a clutch. I think that was one of the replays we weren't able to catch, but I think it was Speedy and Nex that were able to both on an eco round pull off 2 Ks each, and were able to clutch that around because of that. And it wasn't like he was finding these players out in the open and then out angling them one by one. It was like literally he went in, took a 1v2, and each time they won that like consecutively to win the round out. So there was some big mistakes made by both teams there. So it was a little bit of a sloppy map overall.
See, normally I have the classic, it's a bit hackneyed now, the old joke that like the team Liquid Adren isn't even the best player called Adren because there's the Kazakhstani guy who plays for Gambit. I think now I can say that actually Nothing isn't even the best player whose name means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Zero, mate.
Yeah, Zero. We've got
I'm here all week. This is actually 20% of my salary goes towards punts and whatnot, you know.
Yeah. Thing on. So anyway, we've got another replay for you, obviously brought to you by The Score Esports. What's happening in this one, Blue?
So this was, I believe this was the retake from HellRaisers as well.
Oh yeah, this was great.
And obviously, yeah, there's no way this should be happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
this setup is terrible. This is an all-world terrible setup at this point.
Oh.
Moving in, and then
we've done absolutely nothing in this.
The guys from mousesports is pulling it off, and this was again, we were talking actually about Speedy having a pretty lackluster performance up to this point, but this was incredible. What it is right here, watch this, 1 and 2, nicely done by Speedy.
And we talked about Speedy. We highlighted him as one of the guys that had to step up. But you're absolutely right. There was a lot of sloppy rounds. And I got to say, mousesports here. Chris J was absent in the game, but also there was lots of situations where they had like 5-on-3s. And you think, okay, round's going to be closed out. mousesports they're too clinical, they're too sensible. They were making so many mistakes and letting HellRaisers get back into this game. There was, I know what you were alluding to. I thought it was going to be the round where HellRaisers did that sick retake, and won late in the first half. But yeah, I mean, about mousesports, do you think they're going to be able to iron out those kinks?
I'm not really sure, because when I look at them, I think of them as very distinct, even though they've got like 4 of the same players. I mean, 5 technically if you look at the last 2 teams. They have the same players as they had in the Godby era, but because they don't have Godby, I think of them as a very different team. To me, they're very much more an individualistic band of guys, and it's just about fragging, and maybe the chemistry comes from some of them did play together in past teams. That's about it, though. They're not a team that look like they have great comms. I mean, you saw on the round you're talking about, like, it can fall apart when they're in a 3-on-1 afterplant situation in sites where you can hide in certain spots, and they don't. And they not only do they peak uncoordinated, but then they don't trade back for the kills. So coordination's been the big issue here for them. Obviously, they've gotten fragging performances out of people, and throughout the group. It never ended up being a problem that cost them, but that's at this level. At the major level, they won't be getting out groups if they play this way.
Yeah, well, they are the first team to qualify for the major. It bears repeating. We're going to go over to the stage now where we've got Mr. Puckett, who's going to be doing an interview with Chris J, who was smiling despite a poor performance as his team won. Take it away, guys.
All right, thank you very much, guys. I am here with Chris J. Chris J, you are now guaranteed a spot at the major. You're joining Fnatic, Envy, Navi, and the rest of the legends. What's going through your head right now?
It's really, I cannot believe we made it. My team played amazing, and I'm just super happy we qualified, really.
A bit of an uncharacteristic game from you, but the rest of the team was there to support you. What was going on, though? We got to take it back to that round 30, the one-on-one. What was going through your head, and what was the team's discussion going into overtime?
What was going through my head? I was like, I need to win this, but I felt so out of it. I played like shit. I guess I honored my old name, Online J, and what went through our heads in overtime? I don't know. People were a bit frustrated because they felt we threw that round. I think I actually got the interfrag and B that round, and somehow we didn't manage to close it. Then people were a bit mad that Speedy didn't say that the guy was low HP, so I was going in with AWP. I could have rushed him with pistol or something, but we knew we could beat them. I was like not feeling different than before. I knew we could win the overtime, and we did it somehow.
You pulled it out, and you guys pretty quick there in overtime. We didn't see a double overtime like we saw HellRaisers take Liquid earlier in the day. But let's take this all the way back to the beginning of the tournament. When you saw the other teams in your group, how confident coming into this event were you that you could secure a spot at the major?
I must say we were really confident. I think in this group we should qualify. We were getting a bit scared because it's best of 1. Actually, we were quite mad at the organizers for that, since there's so much on the line. I mean, the tournament prize pool increased, but before that there was also a lot on the line. It should just be best of 3. They should take a few more days to host this qualifier, but We knew in best of 1 we're also better. It's just it could be more random, and like your current form shows more in best of 1. I mean, I played like shit now, and maybe in the next map I would have played better. I don't know. I mean, I like to think so, but yeah, we were confident.
Well, we've seen a few changes in your team for anyone new out there. Gabi replaced. You brought in Nico, who's making the play calls now for the team. What was it like having Nico as the in-game leader?
I think Nico's doing a great job. He, with the help of our coach, who's still back home, he's really prepared for the opponents. He knows what to call. He thinks about what the enemy is doing and utilizes our players good. So it's going great with him as in-game leader.
Well, you have a few more weeks to prepare before the $1 million tournament here at Nationwide Arena for the CSGO Major. How do you feel you stack up against the other legends right now that will be in attendance, and what are you going to be working on as a team between now and then?
I guess I don't feel like anything specific we should work on right now. Just play more together, get better team play, maybe figure out a few new rounds we can play together. I think actually we can stack up pretty good against most teams if everybody in the team is playing good. I mean, today I struggled really bad, and of course when you're playing nearly 4-on-5, you're going to have a hard time against a team as good as HellRaisers, and especially against a team like Fnatic or Envy. So everybody needs to show up, and I think then we have a chance to actually make it to the playoffs in the tournament.
Excellent, my friend. Well, mousesports is going to the Major. You won Group B. Guys, coming up next, though, we have plenty more Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We're going to Group C with Vex taking on SK after the commercial break.